I know they say there's no such thing as a stupid question, but come on, is that really true? Because I've got some cruise comments today that will probably make you wonder if that's really true or not. Good Saturday morning, everybody. Chris here with High Seas Cruising. Welcome to today's video when we are back. We have new cruise comments for you this week. We got comments where they just asked some really silly questions. We got a cruiser who, well, apparently is really disturbed by ghosts. And of course, we have some examples of people who just can't seem to grasp the concept of travel insurance. Why is it so important? Well, these people's comments will definitely let you know why. But let's jump right in. Let's find out. Are they right? Are they wrong? Are they speaking for everybody out there? Do they know what every cruiser wants? Let's start off with a fun one. Let's start off with a silly one today. And maybe everybody doesn't know out there that cruise ships operate on a schedule. When it says that they are departing at a certain time, that means they're departing at a certain time. There's not a lot of leeway in there. It's not like they can be like, well, yeah, it's not a problem. You're running late. We'll wait for you. Take your time. That's really not how it works, but I'm not sure everybody understands that. If I call the ship and tell them to wait for us, will they? Short answer to that is no. No, calling the ship and telling them to wait for you is not going to make the ship wait for you. Pay attention to what time you're supposed to be back. Be back before that time, on time. You can't call and ask them to be late. You're just going to arrive and watch them sailing away without you. Now let's talk about adults-only areas on board cruise ships. The name says it all. Adults-only areas. And people like to go into adult-only areas because it's adults only. They don't necessarily want kids in the adults-only area. So as a parent that's bringing an underage individual with you on a cruise, why would you think that it's okay for them to go into the adults-only area if they are not adults? There are plenty of places around a cruise ship that you guys can be together. Things you can do. It does not have to be the adults-only areas. Seems like a no-brainer. Seems like it's a common sense situation. But here's a couple of examples that, well, apparently it's not. Hi, we're going on MSC Virtuosa later this year. I have a 16-year-old son and wondered how strict the Sky Lounge bar is for being adults only. Do they strictly implement this rule, or could my son get away with it since he is 16? Why are you wanting to take a non-adult into an adults-only area? Why do you think that is the right thing to do? Is there no other place on the ship you guys could be together? And just in case anybody's saying, well, it's 16, 18, that's pretty close, how about this one? We are taking our granddaughter on our 40th anniversary cruise next year. She will be 13. Will we have a problem if we take her into the Hideaway? She looks old for her age and she's very quiet. So now we want to take a 13-year-old into the adults-only areas. Why? I mean, somebody please help make this make sense. Why do some people feel that the rules shouldn't apply to their family? She's very quiet, so clearly nobody else in there would mind. Why would adults hanging out in the adults-only area mind if there are children in there? I mean, come on, this is ridiculous. Even the most family-friendly cruise line, Disney Cruise Line, has an adults-only area just to have the ability to get a break from kids should they need it. So, yeah, no, quit trying to take your kids into adults-only areas. They don't belong there. Now, for our next comment, this person, I don't know, maybe they were in the middle of enjoying their drink package when they decided to write this. Maybe they're slightly unhinged. That's a possibility as well. Because this comment's kind of all over the place. And it involves sleeping, it involves kids, it involves a Ziploc bag, and what I think may have ultimately been the reason for this comment, a charge they got in the casino. But yeah, it's all over the place, so y'all take a look at this one. It's a sad day today. I have decided that after I am done with the trips I have booked, I am no longer cruising. As I have gotten older, I have become a light sleeper, probably because of all the trauma and paranormal phenomenon in my life. Cruising is truly for the alcohol and sleeping pill induced. As a pure vessel, those options are only for emergencies. I am not judging anyone who drinks or takes sleeping pills. I am just saying that that is not my way. And then there is this. This is the reason why I just did a 30-day cruise with Princess. These were my last 2 cabins on Royal Caribbean. Yet those are someone else's nail clippings and dirty Ziploc bag under the bed. The others are from Oasis of the Seas. I don't know what happened to Royal, but since the pandemic, they suck blank. And they charge $3 to put money from your account into a slot machine. Go blank yourselves. I am never gambling a penny with Royal Caribbean Cruise Line. So, according to her, she had some dirty cabins on Royal Caribbean. That's why she booked Princess. But then she goes on to say they charged her $3 to put money in the slot machine, and she'll never gamble with Royal Caribbean again. And I think that's the real issue. I think that's really what this comment is all about. But someone help me understand the entire first paragraph of this. What does dirty cabins and a casino charge have anything to do with being a light sleeper? How does that have anything to do with believing that cruising is only for those that consume alcohol and take sleeping pills? How are those related? But my absolute favorite line of this is going to be that she is a light sleeper due to paranormal phenomenon in her life. That she is now a pure vessel. I really don't know what else to say about that. Tender boat operations. Sometimes it's the cruise ships use their own boats. Some ports, they use the tenders that are available there. Sometimes bad weather can affect tender operations. Them little boats are bouncing around, hopping around, banging into stuff. There is always the chance that they're going to say no tender operations due to bad weather. And experienced cruisers know while this can suck if you really want to get off the ship, there's not a whole lot that the cruise line can do about it if it is a safety issue. Less the cruise line can do about it if it's not even their tender boats. They're at the mercy of somebody else's decision, like the port's decision. But what do you do when that happens? Do you accept that that's part of cruising, or do you blame the cruise line? It is absolutely the worst cruise I've ever been on. I will quit cruising over this. I have spent all this money with this cruise line. I deserve better. I deserve different. Weather and safety be damned. Doesn't seem like that would be a common response, but it was for this person. We are former celebrity loyalists. We take other family members with us on cruises every year. We have always used celebrity until this horrible experience happening right now in Nice, France. We are missing an entire pre-planned day in the city. 6 of us. Because of screwed up tender service, we can't get off the ship. And despite logging a formal complaint, Celebrity is offering absolutely nothing to compensate us. They're not even being particularly nice about it. We probably spent $50,000 on this cruise line, and they do not give a blank. So angry and disappointed. So let's break this one down. I can completely get that you are disappointed that you didn't go into a cruise port that you may have been looking forward to. Totally understand that. Now, this was in Nice, France, where the tenders are controlled by the port, not by the ship. But your solution to this is to be a former member of Celebrity Cruise Lines. Why? Because you take people with you. You should get treated different. Because you had pre-planned activities and they would not let you off the ship. Exactly what were they supposed to do? Take you down and just shove you off? Inflate a life raft and let you go off on your own. What does the fact that you have spent $50,000 over your cruising lifetime on this cruise line have to do with the fact that tenders were not available for this port day? But that's okay. They took their time to go down and log a formal complaint and let them know now we are former celebrity passengers. I'm sure that the executives at Celebrity are in the back office crying over your loss right now. Because you would think that if you've done all these cruises and taken all these people on a ship over your cruising lifetime on Celebrity, that you are well aware by now that there is a possibility you could miss a cruise port due to unforeseen circumstances. Wonder where that knowledge was when they wrote that comment. And finally, another example of buy travel insurance. Can't say it enough. Buy travel insurance. You will never need it until you need it. The cruise line tells you to buy this travel insurance just for these particular types of reasons. If something happens and you can't make your cruise, you will need travel insurance. But there's a really interesting phenomenon that happens with some people out there. They don't listen. They book the cruise, they plan the cruise, they do not buy travel insurance. Then that something happens, that something occurs that prevents them from getting on the cruise ship. And at that particular moment and at that particular time, they don't say to themselves, damn it, I was told to buy travel insurance. I don't know why we didn't. Now look at the situation we're in. They don't say that. What they say is, cruise line, you owe me. Why are you not doing something better for me? Cruise line, do better. That's what they say. It's always the cruise line's fault that they somehow didn't purchase travel insurance. It's not about personal responsibility. It's not about being an adult. It's about, I didn't listen and now I need somebody else to blame for my situation. I am appalled at how Carnival Cruise Line treated my husband and I. We were 6 days away from our cruise. We were very excited as our daughter and son-in-law gave us this trip for our 60th birthday. Our grandchildren were going with us too. My husband realized he had something going on with his eyes, so he went to the eye doctor Monday morning. The doctor immediately sent him to a specialist. The specialist immediately set up surgery. My husband had a detached retina. He had to have a bubble surgically placed behind his eye. He was told he had to keep his head down for 45 minutes of every hour for 1 week. The doctor forbid him to fly. We were devastated. We would not be going on our cruise with our family. What did Carnival do? They did not give us a credit. They did not give us our money back. They would not even speak to us. Everything was done via email. I even sent doctor's notes and backup. Still no refund. I do not recommend Carnival Cruise Lines. Emergencies happen, and this was an unfortunate one. I'm glad my husband is getting better, but the salt in the wound from Carnival is not only disappointing, it is wrong. Do the right thing. I hope this gentleman gets better and his eye gets better and he can go on a cruise in the future. But I think the last line of this comment says it all. Emergencies can happen. They absolutely can. Which is why you purchase travel insurance. So is anybody surprised that Carnival didn't give them a credit? Carnival didn't give them a refund? Doesn't matter if you send in a doctor's note, whatever you send in. The very first thing they're going to look at, the very first thing they're going to check, the very first thing they're going to ask is, did you purchase travel insurance? Because that is where you will file your claim. So they can not recommend Carnival Cruise Lines all they like, because they all operate this way. So you would have been disappointed no matter what. But to say do the right thing, I would say the cruise line did the right thing from the very beginning. They offered, they suggested, they told you, we recommend you purchase travel insurance because emergencies can happen. Just like this person acknowledged in their comment. Yet, it's not their fault. It's the cruise line's fault. And that's going to be our video this week for what every cruiser wants. You guys let me know in the comments below. Are they right? Are they wrong? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Do these people even have a leg to stand on? Now, if you've enjoyed today's video, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you haven't done so yet, do me a favor and hit subscribe. It is free to do so. Helps our channel grow. Let you know anytime we put out a new video. Hope everyone out there is having a really great day. And like always, we will see you out on the high seas.